Imagine living in a state where the roads are crumbling, schools are closing, jobs are disappearing, and people are fleeing faster than ever before. Unfortunately, for millions of Americans, this isn't just a nightmare, it's their daily reality. The United States is home to some of the most prosperous regions in the world, but not every state shares in that wealth. In 2024, a number of states are facing a rapid decline, struggling to hold on to their population, economy, and infrastructure. So, which states are on the brink? And what led them to this point? Let's dive in and uncover the 10 fastest collapsing states in America this year. Welcome to Globe Discoveries, your destination for in-depth explorations of the world's most intriguing places and stories. In today's video, we're tackling a sobering topic: the 10 fastest collapsing states in the United States in 2024. We're not just talking about economic decline, but a full spectrum of issues from infrastructure breakdowns to population exodus. Before we dive into these critical issues, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Ready to uncover the struggles of these states? Let's get started. Number 10. West Virginia. West Virginia, known for its rugged mountains and deep coal mining routes, finds itself on our list due to significant economic and social challenges. The state has long struggled with the decline of its coal industry, but in recent years, the problems have compounded, leading to rapid decline. West Virginia's economy has been in freefall, with coal production, once the lifeblood of the state, dropping to record lows. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, coal production in West Virginia has decreased by nearly 40% over the past decade. This has led to widespread unemployment, with the state's jobless rate consistently above the national average at around 6.5%. Moreover, West Virginia has the highest drug overdose death rate in the country, exacerbating the economic downturn. The decline of the coal industry has led to a mass exodus, particularly among younger generations seeking opportunities elsewhere. Census data shows that West Virginia has experienced a population decrease of nearly 3% over the last decade, making it one of the fastest shrinking states in the U.S. West Virginia's infrastructure is also in dire straits. The American Society of Civil Engineers (ASCE) gave the state a D+ grade in its latest infrastructure report card. Roads are deteriorating, bridges are unsafe, and many rural areas lack access to basic services like high-speed internet. Residents in towns like Welch and Logan describe a feeling of abandonment. Once thriving communities now face empty storefronts, schools with declining enrollments, and hospitals struggling to stay open. The spirit of these communities remains strong, but the economic and social challenges are overwhelming. West Virginia's struggles are deeply rooted in the collapse of its coal industry and the resulting economic and social fallout. While the state's natural beauty and resilient communities offer hope, reversing the current trends will require significant investment and strategic planning. Number 9. Illinois. Illinois, the land of Lincoln, is a state with a rich history and a diverse economy. However, beneath the surface, Illinois is grappling with a host of issues that are causing a rapid decline, especially in its financial health and population stability. Illinois is facing a severe fiscal crisis, driven by years of budget deficits, pension liabilities, and political gridlock. The state's unfunded pension liabilities are estimated at over $130 billion, making it one of the most financially strained states in the country. This has led to cuts in essential services, including education and public safety, further exacerbating the state's problems. Illinois has been losing residents at an alarming rate, particularly from the Chicago metropolitan area. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Illinois lost nearly 80,000 residents between 2020 and 2023, continuing a trend of population decline that has persisted for nearly a decade. High taxes, crime rates in urban areas, and a struggling economy are driving people to seek better opportunities in other states. Illinois infrastructure is aging and in desperate need of repair. The ASCE gave the state a C in its infrastructure report, citing deteriorating roads, bridges, and public transit systems. Chicago's public transportation system, once a model for other cities, is now plagued by delays and safety concerns. In both urban and rural areas, Illinois residents are feeling the impact of the state's decline. From small business owners in Springfield struggling with high taxes and declining customer bases to families in Chicago moving to neighboring states for better schools and safer neighborhoods, the sense of unease is palpable. Illinois is facing a rapid decline driven by financial mismanagement, population loss, and crumbling infrastructure. While the state's leadership is attempting to address these issues, the challenges are vast, and the road to recovery is steep. Number 8. New York. New York, often seen as the epitome of American success and resilience, is surprisingly on this list due to significant economic challenges and a population that's steadily fleeing the state. The Empire State is struggling to maintain its grandeur as it faces financial woes and social issues. New York's economy, particularly in its upstate regions, has been in decline for years. While New York City remains a global financial hub, much of the state is grappling with economic stagnation. Manufacturing jobs that once supported cities like Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse have largely disappeared, leaving these areas with high unemployment rates and dwindling tax bases. Furthermore, the high cost of living, particularly in New York City, is driving both residents and businesses out of the state. New York has seen a significant outflow of residents, particularly in the last decade. From 2020 to 2023, the state lost nearly 300,000 people, continuing a trend that has seen New York's population growth stall or decline. High taxes, expensive housing, and the pandemic's impact have accelerated this exodus, with many people relocating to more affordable states in the South and West. New York's infrastructure, particularly in its urban areas, is under significant strain. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority (MTA) faces ongoing financial challenges, leading to service cuts and fare hikes. Upstate, many roads and bridges are in poor condition, with the state earning a C grade from the ASEF for its overall infrastructure. In cities like Albany and Buffalo, residents express frustration over the lack of job opportunities and the high cost of living. Even in New York City, once a magnet for young professionals, many are opting to leave due to soaring housing costs and the challenges of urban living post-pandemic. New York's challenges are a stark reminder that even the most iconic states can struggle with decline. The state's high cost of living, combined with economic stagnation in many regions, is driving a rapid collapse that will require innovative solutions to reverse. Number 7. Mississippi. Mississippi, a state with a deep history and rich culture, is also one of the fastest collapsing states in 2024. Persistent poverty, low educational outcomes, and a struggling healthcare system are all contributing to the state's rapid decline. Mississippi has long been one of the poorest states in the nation, with a poverty rate of over 19%. The state's economy is heavily reliant on agriculture, particularly crops like cotton and soybeans, but it lacks the industrial diversification needed to provide widespread economic opportunities. The state also suffers from low wages and high unemployment, particularly in its rural areas. Mississippi has been experiencing a steady outflow of residents, particularly young people, who leave in search of better opportunities elsewhere. The state's population has been stagnant for years, and recent data shows a slight decline as more people move to neighboring states with stronger economies and better job prospects. Mississippi's healthcare system is in crisis, with many rural hospitals closing due to financial difficulties. The state has one of the highest rates of uninsured residents in the country, and healthcare outcomes, including life expectancy and infant mortality, are among the worst in the nation. This has created a vicious cycle where poor health outcomes contribute to economic decline, and vice versa. In rural Mississippi, residents often travel long distances to access basic services, including healthcare and education. Many families struggle to make ends meet, and the lack of economic mobility is a persistent concern. Despite these challenges, there is a strong sense of community and resilience among those who remain. Mississippi's rapid decline is driven by a combination of economic, social, and healthcare challenges. The state's leadership will need to focus on improving education, healthcare, and economic diversification to slow the collapse and create a more sustainable future. Number 6. California. California, often seen as the land of opportunity and innovation, is surprisingly struggling with its own rapid decline. Despite being one of the largest economies in the world, the Golden State faces significant challenges that are causing many to question its future. California's economy is a paradox. While it boasts Silicon Valley, Hollywood, and some of the richest individuals in the world, it also has one of the highest poverty rates in the United States, at nearly 15%. The state's wealth is concentrated in a few areas, while large swaths of the state, particularly the Central Valley and parts of Southern California, struggle with poverty, unemployment, and housing insecurity. The high cost of living, particularly in housing, is driving people out of the state in record numbers. For years, California was the destination for dreamers and innovators. But recently, more people are leaving the state than moving in. According to the California Department of Finance, the state's population declined by over 500,000 people between 2020 and 2023. High taxes, unaffordable housing, and concerns about wildfires and droughts are pushing residents to seek refuge in other states. California's infrastructure, particularly its water management and transportation systems, is under immense pressure. The state's water crisis, exacerbated by ongoing droughts, is threatening agricultural production and leading to increased costs for residents. Meanwhile, the state's roads and public transportation systems are struggling to keep up with demand, earning California a C in the ASCE infrastructure report. From tech workers in San Francisco struggling with the high cost of living to farmers in the Central Valley facing water shortages, Californians are feeling the effects of the state's rapid decline. Many are questioning whether the Golden State can still offer the opportunities that once drew so many to its shores. California's rapid decline is driven by a combination of economic disparities, population loss, and infrastructure challenges. While the state remains a global powerhouse, its future depends on addressing these critical issues before they lead to an irreversible collapse. Number 5. Alaska. Alaska, the last frontier, is known for its stunning natural beauty and vast wilderness. However, behind the scenic landscapes lies a state facing significant economic and social challenges, making it one of the fastest collapsing states in 2024. Alaska's economy is heavily reliant on oil and gas production, which accounts for a significant portion of the state's revenue. However, with fluctuating oil prices and a decline in production, Alaska has been struggling to balance its budget. The state has faced budget deficits for several years, leading to cuts in essential services and infrastructure. Additionally, the high cost of living, driven by the state's remote location and reliance on imports, places further strain on residents. Alaska has seen a steady decline in population over the past few years, as residents move to the lower 48 states in search of better job opportunities and a more affordable cost of living. According to the Alaska Department of Labor and Workforce Development, the state's population has decreased by about 1% since 2020, a significant drop for a state with a small population to begin with. Alaska's infrastructure is aging and in need of significant investment. The state's remote location and harsh climate make maintaining roads, bridges, and public utilities a constant challenge. The ASCE gave Alaska a D+ in its latest infrastructure report, citing deteriorating roads, lack of access to clean water in some rural areas, and the vulnerability of infrastructure to natural disasters like earthquakes. In rural Alaska, residents face unique challenges, from high energy costs to limited access to healthcare and education. In some areas, the lack of infrastructure means that basic services, such as running water and sewage systems, are not available. Despite these challenges, the state's residents are known for their resilience and strong sense of community. Alaska's rapid decline is driven by economic dependence on a volatile industry, population loss, and significant infrastructure challenges. Addressing these issues will be crucial to ensuring that the state can continue to offer a high quality of life to its residents. Number 4. Louisiana. Louisiana, known for its vibrant culture, music, and cuisine, is also a state facing significant challenges that are causing it to decline rapidly. From environmental disasters to economic woes, Louisiana's problems are multifaceted and deeply rooted. Louisiana's economy has long been dependent on the oil and gas industry, but the decline in oil prices and the impact of hurricanes and other natural disasters have taken a heavy toll. The state's poverty rate remains one of the highest in the country, at nearly 19%, and its unemployment rate is consistently above the national average. The state also faces significant challenges in education and healthcare, with many residents lacking access to quality services. Louisiana is particularly vulnerable to environmental disasters, including hurricanes, flooding, and coastal erosion. The state loses about a football field's worth of land every hour due to coastal erosion, which threatens homes, infrastructure, and industries like fishing and tourism. The increasing frequency and severity of hurricanes have further strained the state's resources and hindered its recovery efforts. Louisiana's infrastructure is also in poor condition, with the ASCE giving the state a D+ grade. Roads, bridges, and levees are in desperate need of repair, and the state's aging infrastructure is particularly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change and natural disasters. In cities like New Orleans and Baton Rouge, residents have faced repeated challenges in rebuilding after hurricanes and floods. Many communities have not fully recovered from past disasters, and the constant threat of new storms makes long-term planning difficult. Despite these challenges, the state's rich cultural traditions and strong sense of community remain a source of resilience. Louisiana's rapid decline is driven by a combination of economic, environmental, and infrastructure challenges. The state's future depends on its ability to address these issues and build resilience against the ever-present threat of natural disasters. Number 3. New Mexico. New Mexico, the land of enchantment, is known for its stunning landscapes and rich cultural heritage. However, the state is facing a rapid decline due to a combination of economic struggles, population loss, and social challenges. New Mexico has long struggled with a weak economy, characterized by high poverty rates and low wages. The state's poverty rate stands at around 19%, one of the highest in the nation. New Mexico's economy relies heavily on government jobs, oil and gas, and tourism, but it lacks the industrial diversification needed to provide widespread economic opportunities. The state also suffers from a high unemployment rate and a significant underemployment problem, with many residents working in low-paying jobs that do not provide economic security. New Mexico has experienced a steady decline in population over the past decade, as young people and professionals leave the state in search of better opportunities elsewhere. The state's population growth has stagnated, and recent data shows that more people are moving out than moving in. This exodus is particularly concerning in rural areas, where population loss exacerbates economic decline and strains public services. New Mexico faces significant challenges in education and healthcare. The state consistently ranks near the bottom in national rankings for education, with low test scores, high dropout rates, and underfunded schools. Healthcare access is also limited, particularly in rural areas where residents often have to travel long distances to receive care. The state's healthcare outcomes, including life expectancy and infant mortality, are among the worst in the country. In rural New Mexico, many communities struggle with poverty, unemployment, and limited access to basic services. Residents often express frustration over the lack of opportunities for economic advancement and the difficulty of accessing quality education and healthcare. Despite these challenges, there is a strong sense of pride in the state's cultural heritage and natural beauty. New Mexico's rapid decline is driven by a combination of economic, social, and demographic challenges. The state's leadership will need to focus on improving education, healthcare, and economic diversification to slow the collapse and create a more sustainable future. Number 2. Ohio. Ohio, once a powerhouse of American industry, is now one of the fastest collapsing states in the U.S. in 2024. The decline of manufacturing, coupled with population loss and social challenges, has led to significant struggles for the Buckeye State. Ohio's economy has long been tied to manufacturing, particularly in cities like Cleveland, Akron, and Youngstown. However, the decline of the manufacturing sector, driven by automation and globalization, has led to widespread job losses and economic stagnation. The state's unemployment rate is above the national average, and many residents are underemployed, working in jobs that do not fully utilize their skills or provide adequate wages. Ohio has experienced a significant population decline over the past decade, particularly in its industrial cities. The U.S. Census Bureau reports that Ohio's population has decreased by nearly 1% since 2020, as residents move to states with stronger economies and better job opportunities. This population loss has led to shrinking tax bases, making it difficult for cities to fund essential services and maintain infrastructure. Ohio has been one of the states hardest hit by the opioid epidemic, with some of the highest rates of opioid-related deaths in the country. The crisis has devastated communities across the state, leading to increased healthcare costs, strained public services, and a rise in crime. The opioid epidemic has also contributed to the state's economic decline, as many residents struggle with addiction and are unable to participate in the workforce. In cities like Dayton and Youngstown, residents talk about the challenges of living in a state that has seen better days. Empty factories, abandoned homes, and struggling schools are common sights, and many people feel that their communities have been left behind by the rest of the country. Despite these challenges, there is a strong sense of resilience and a desire to rebuild. Ohio's rapid decline is driven by the loss of its manufacturing base, population exodus, and the devastating impact of the opioid crisis. The state's future will depend on its ability to diversify its economy, address social challenges, and rebuild its struggling communities. Number 1. Alabama. Alabama, a state with a rich history and deep cultural roots, tops our list as the fastest collapsing state in the United States in 2024. A combination of economic decline, social challenges, and infrastructure failures have placed Alabama in a precarious position. Alabama's economy has long been dependent on industries such as agriculture, manufacturing, and aerospace. However, the state has struggled to adapt to the changing economic landscape, leading to job losses and economic stagnation. The state's poverty rate is among the highest in the nation, at nearly 17%, and its median household income is well below the national average. Alabama also suffers from high unemployment and underemployment, with many residents working in low-paying jobs that do not provide economic security. Alabama faces significant challenges in education and healthcare. The state ranks near the bottom in national rankings for education, with low test scores, high dropout rates, and underfunded schools. Healthcare access is also limited, particularly in rural areas, where residents often have to travel long distances to receive care. The state's healthcare outcomes, including life expectancy and infant mortality, are among the worst in the country. Alabama's infrastructure is in dire need of repair, with the ASCE giving the state a D+ grade. Roads, bridges, and public utilities are deteriorating, and many rural areas lack access to basic services like high-speed internet. The state's infrastructure challenges are compounded by the increasing frequency and severity of natural disasters, such as hurricanes and tornadoes, which strain resources and hinder recovery efforts. Alabama has experienced a steady decline in population over the past decade, as residents move to states with stronger economies and better job opportunities. The state's population has been stagnant for years, and recent data shows that more people are moving out than moving in. This exodus is particularly concerning in rural areas, where population loss exacerbates economic decline and strains public services. In rural Alabama, many communities struggle with poverty, unemployment, and limited access to basic services. Residents often express frustration over the lack of opportunities for economic advancement and the difficulty of accessing quality education and healthcare. Despite these challenges, there is a strong sense of pride in the state's cultural heritage and natural beauty. Alabama's rapid decline is driven by a combination of economic, social, and demographic challenges. The state's leadership will need to focus on improving education, healthcare, and economic diversification to slow the collapse and create a more sustainable future. If you found this video informative and want to learn more about the challenges and opportunities facing the United States, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and ring the notification bell. Join the Globe Discoveries community for more insights and in-depth analysis on the issues that shape our world. And there you have it, the 10 fastest collapsing states in the United States in 2024. From the economic struggles of West Virginia to the social challenges facing Alabama, these states are on the brink of collapse. Understanding the reasons behind these declines is the first step towards finding solutions and helping these communities thrive. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the world with Globe Discoveries.